The number of homeless people in the UK has rose for 6 successive years, with an increase of 16% in 2016 on the previous year. Out of desperation, 4 to 5 homeless people are now regular drug users. The increase in the use of the former legal high spice has resulted in 95% of Manchester's homeless community taking the drug. Undercover Boro spoke to 2 contrasting homeless men in Middlesbrough to find out what drugs are being taken on the streets. So what drugs do you see on the street in Middlesbrough?
Mainly heroin, crack, and prescription drugs like pregabalin, gabapentin, cannabis, and that's basically it.
Do you not see much spice?
No, there's very, very little spice. It's mostly in the prisons. You don't see it on the streets at all very much.
Do you yourself take any drugs?
Yeah, I'm a heroin addict. I have been for like 15, 16 years. I take crack and smoke a little bit of weed now again. That's the only drugs I take.
How did you end up starting to take heroin and crack?
Well, with heroin I was addicted to temazepam for a long time. At one point I couldn't get hold of it. Heroin was very prevalent, so I just started taking that instead of the temazepam. And the crack just came along further down the line, you know, just as I was in the heroin scene, it was with the dealers selling heroin and crack, so it's just easy to just get one and one. So I just ended up doing both.
Do you still take both of them regularly now?
Yeah, I'm taking heroin daily and crack whenever I can afford it, because it's much more expensive than heroin.
So how long have you been homeless for now?
I've been homeless for about 6 months. I lost my mum at the end of November. I lost my job on the 5th of December, and by the 12th of December I was homeless, destitute, and I'd relapsed heavily back on the heroin because I was on a methadone script working and stuff. I just never dealt with the grief properly with my mum passing away through cancer, and I've ended up on the streets of Middlesbrough, homeless, back on the heroin.
So do you see any other drugs on the street, such as ketamine or hallucinogenics like acid or...
I haven't seen acid for God knows how long, and ecstasy and ketamine and stuff, they're all there in the club scene, but with the street homeless and things like that, we don't bother with it very much. But it is about, you know, there's a hell of a lot of it about, but as I say, it's the dance scene, the club scene, same as cocaine. There's a lot of cocaine about as well in Middlesbrough, but again, that gets turned into crack cocaine by us street lads, but again, that's the dance scene, the pub scene, and all the younger generation of students and stuff that deal with that. We don't, you know.
So have you used heroin or crack today?
Yeah, I've used both today, like usually by 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, I've had my first fix, if you like, my first bag. And then later on during the day I go for like heroin and crack. But as I also beg up for like my B&B, so I'll do like 15 quid straight away for my B&B, and then after that I'll go for my heroin and my crack. But I always try to make sure that I've got my B&B money so that I'm not actually on the streets.
So do you take any drugs on the streets?
No, been clean 16 years. I was on the heroin for 8 years, done me cold turkey in Normal in 5 times. The 5th time my dad had a motorbike accident, went into operation and everything. When I was in prison, got out and he didn't know who I was because he had a blood clot behind each ear. He operated on the left hand side, which paralysed him out on his right hand side, and he was in a wheelchair for 7 years. He was there every day to see him.
How long have you been homeless for now?
8 months.
What started it?
Mum passed away and everything, and I wasn't down on the tenancy agreement. My own brother grassed me up with the council, even though I was still paying the rent and everything, because I wasn't down on the tenancy agreement. I got evicted.
What drugs do you see on the streets of Middlesbrough?
Heroin, crack cocaine, spice, whiz.
Do you see a lot of spice in Middlesbrough?
Yeah.